Hi, everyone. Dr. Nikki Starr here with the beautiful Alex Anzalone.
Thank you.
And today we had a retreat here in Malibu. And the funniest thing, like Alexandra is still here. The retreat was meant to end at 6:15 and it is 7:26 because we could not find an Uber driver or a Lyft driver anywhere in sight. And we called so many taxis. So it seems like Alexandra may be staying over. But
Yes.
we feel this is a divine intervention. It's a divine intervention because we are meant to come online and share with you all about what our day was like to inspire you. And specifically in the realms of, what do we want to talk about?
Just the power of nature and rituals and just how amazing and life-shifting that they can be.
Yeah, exactly. And so as many of you know, I've been sharing a lot about rituals lately. So it was actually divine when I said to Alexandra, I was like, let's go online and just share about our day. And like, what do you want to specifically share about? Like, what part of the day? And she was like, nature and rituals. And I was like, perfect, because I have my ritual course coming up and it starts tomorrow, actually. So with that, I wanted to come on here, share all the good vibes. And let's share a little bit about the day. So we actually went and I made a joke. I'm like, we're going to be like jungle women.
Yes.
And I would say, let's start with what was your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part was just when we laid in the sand and just connected with the earth, just, grounding into the earth and just letting go of what no longer served and just being with myself and nature was just very deeply healing and it felt really good. And then the ocean, I loved going into the ocean. It was like such a powerful part of the ritual because it was just like, at first I was like, oh my God, this water's freezing. And then when we jumped in, it was just so empowering and invigorating. And it was just magical.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, it's winter, right? Technically it's winter, but I always encourage anyone who comes here for retreats to be like, we're going in the water. For that split second of the discomfort, the power of nature, especially the ocean, how much energy she has, she literally can like wipe out any energy that's not serving. And literally we can simulate that in like a bathtub because water is such a powerful purifier. Mm-hmm. And even what Alexandra was alluding to in regards to earth, when we lay on the earth and we set intentions to ground off energies that are not serving, so healing. And actually really just the act of like laying on the earth, like we're so busy.
Yes.
Like even myself, I was like, I am so grateful I'm hosting a retreat right now because I get to do this. Like, and I know how healing it is. And it's like, I want to do even more of it. So I love when I have an excuse to do even more of it, when someone comes to my home and I'm like, perfect, let's go lay in this. And we get dirty. And I'm like, put your face, like, get yourself full. And we're literally like coated in sand that people walk by and like, what are these people doing? But I don't care. I don't care what they think.
So good.
Exactly.
So
like
fun.
We don't care.
No,
if you just like dance
care.
like nobody's watching, it's like roll around in the sand like no one's watching. And literally, like, when was the last time you just laid on the earth? And at the end, we literally were hugging the earth, like arms out, like, oh. And it was so, so nice. And literally like feeling, and we felt so good going into the ritual, actually. Like we didn't even have things that were really present with us, but we discovered things that wanted to be released. And that's the beauty of intentional time for our healing, our transformation, our personal development. And so what else did you feel, Alex, is like significant for you, or like kind of what you're taking away from the day, or maybe like an epiphany, an aha, or a lesson for you that maybe if someone else listening heard it, they might be like, oh, wow, thank you. I needed that. Or what message did you get from the earth or anything like that?
Well, I think that the one thing that came to me was like, just spend more time with nature, just laying in the earth. We never, it's such a simple thing. I think it's easy to overlook the power of that. So that was a big reminder, like, hey, all you have to do is just do this more, spend more time in nature, connect more. It's simple and it's very deeply healing and powerful when you do that. And so that was one message I got. And then I think that was a big one. That was the main one. Yeah.
Yeah, and Alexandra actually already has a really beautiful relationship with nature. And do you want to share with them about your tree?
Yes.
Inspired by Avatar?
Yes. I have this love of pine trees and this connection to pine trees. And I decided to plant one in my front yard. And I decided, like, I'm going to name this tree. This tree needs a name. It wants a name. And I was driving and it just popped into my head, Eula, which I've never heard before really as a name. I never, really was connected to that. It just kind of came spontaneously. And when I looked it up, it meant evergreen, and pines are evergreens. So it was really meaningful and beautiful. And so often, every day, I try to, when I'm home, I go to just greet the tree, greet Eula. I put my hands, I kind of hold the branches like they're hands, and I just feel the energy flowing through my body and ground into the earth. And I could just feel the energy from the tree. It's so powerful when you take time to connect with nature. It's innate. We're part of nature. We're made of the elements of nature. So when we just take time, we can really, benefit from that. Power. And
it's so powerful. And I was sharing with Alexandra, as some of you may already remember or know, that I spent time in Italy. I was living for 3 years, half time between Italy and Los Angeles. And where I lived in this community, it was a spiritual eco community. And every territory had a mother tree. So actually, the movie Avatar was inspired by Damanhur, which is the community. And what we do when we arrive to that territory, so where there's like homes of people that are in the community, everyone knows which is the mother tree, because oftentimes it's decorated and there's like an altar for the nature spirits. And we would go up to the tree and we would put our forehead to the tree and greet it, just like as if it was a person.
That's so beautiful.
And then we greet the tree, but we also are greeting the whole territory and all the plants. And so, as many of you may know, there's a whole network, an underground root network for plants, that they all, like all the plants and all the trees, are really all connected all over the world through this underground root system. And so when we are connecting to a tree, or, and they have names. Like if you ask a tree, and I've done that before, you ask a tree, what's its name? It will give you its name. So that's really beautiful, a beautiful practice. And there's actually a whole ritual you can do to connect with trees. And I wonder if I'm going to actually share that in the ritual course that I have coming up that starts tomorrow. But the power of rituals are just so important. And we literally can create a ritual for anything. And we even closed the day and we were dying laughing with this really fun intention ritual. Like literally, we were like crying laughing.
It was hysterical.
It was really good. I was like, my belly is so happy. Like those good laughs where you just like fold over. It was really good. It was really good. And I want to share that too. Like the whole personal development process can be really light and fun. And even though I go really deep and I'm really serious, I definitely keep humor for sure in the process. Because it can be fun. It can be fun. Even if we're healing like our deepest things, it can still be fun and lighthearted, and we can keep it light. I think that's really important.
Yeah, you're really good at that. Like keeping it light and fun.
Thank you. We usually laugh in our sessions for sure. Yeah. Well, is there any last things that you want to share about nature or rituals or anything with the people, all of the humanity here?
Let's share with humanity somewhere. There's one more thing, just how when we were walking over these boulders of rocks and things like that, and when I was thinking of anything other than being in the present moment, I was like shaky and off balance. And when I was just focus on the present moment and one step at a time, one rock at a time, I just felt like I was in this flow and I could more gracefully go over the rocks. So it felt like such a beautiful metaphor for life, that just being in the present moment, not worrying about the future or the past, we just tap into our flow and we can just flow with greater ease and grace through life. So that was another gem.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. And you know what? Now that I'm looking back, I actually had a similar experience. Like when we were walking back, Alexandra was like when we were walking to do the ritual, I was in front and I was kind of just going. And then when we were walking back, she was going. And at one point she was really far in front of me. And I realized I was really in my head. I was thinking about all kinds of random things and literally these like little rocks, and we're literally scaling the rocks to like walk across because it was high tide. And so we're walking across with these rocks, and literally me being in my mind, I slowed down so much. So thinking takes up so much time and energy, and it takes energy away from something that we're actually doing. And then the moment I just, like she said, like she had the experience too, and so did I got super present and focused. I literally was able to catch up with her like so quickly. And so it is a message of like, be present with what you're doing, really focused and intentional, and have special moments for each thing. And I feel we get it done that much faster, that much quicker, more efficiently, but also with better quality because our presence and focus is there. So I love that so much. And there was something else I was thinking of that I wanted to share, but I don't know if I remember it now. So maybe that's the perfect thing to close it with.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
Sounds
That
good.
feels good.
No, that feels good to me.
Yeah, that feels really good. And so we can give thanks that, I know what I was going to share. Alexandra also has a similar mission in her way and feels that she too is here for the healing and awakening of humankind, as am I. And so we have this really beautiful soul sister connection with similar but different missions in the world. And even their community and things like that. So it's going to be beautiful to see what else she creates and does in the world.
Aww.
And we're just so happy to be here with you all. And we trust that this is an important message that we shared today. So whoever watched this and you're watching it, like all the events like happened, like we can't find her a ride back to her hotel. So good thing I have a few guest bedrooms. So she's just going to just stay here for the night.
It's meant to be.
And we'll do some Pilates in the morning before we head out. But with that, I send you love. I've included Alexandra's link in the comments. I've also included the link to the ritual course. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we send you love and wish you a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Good night.
Bye for now.